Tom, Kevin, congratulations. This movie is probably my favorite movie of the year so far. It is so good. You guys killed it.
Oh, thanks so much. Thanks so much. Appreciate that.
First thing I want to talk about, this is a Nick Cage movie about Nick Cage. What's the first Nick Cage movie you ever watched? Do you remember?
I think the first Nick Cage movie I ever watched was, I think, Raising Arizona. I think for me, that's an interesting question. I've never been asked before.
Mine was definitely, my parents loved Moonstruck. And so Moonstruck was always on in my house, I feel like, which is still, I think, one of my favorite Nick performances.
Yeah, I love that. And I also like, Nick is great in the film, but we also have to praise Pedro Pascal because he was so good. The two of them together have just the most unbelievable chemistry. Like, I would love to hear about bringing him in, building that chemistry. Like, have you ever seen anything like that before?
Well, it's interesting because we had met with Pedro and we haven't really seen him do this type of character before. And when we met with him, he was such a massive Nicolas Cage fan that he was like, I just wanted to meet you guys and talk about the script because I love Nick. And we started to see this character as like Pedro, the actor. And we thought we can't do this movie without him. So bringing him in and using like bits of who he actually is to actually enhance the Javi character in the film was like a big part of it.
Yeah. And I have to also give my wife Elizabeth credit because, as we were trying to figure out who we were going to cast, she's a huge Pedro Pascal fan. And so she was like so confused as to why there was even a discussion. She was like, Pedro's clearly the best guy for this. Are you guys out of your minds? Like I give her credit.
Yeah. And then we were on set, like having the two of them, the relationship between the two of them, Nick's sort of channeling as Bronson, and is this very stoic, like gruff character, and Pedro's like sweet, sort of sycophant behavior, like made us like, it turned into something pretty special.
Oh, they're so remarkably good together. Now, I do want to hear, you guys wrote this. So does that mean like you guys are basically the Pedro Pascals of the world? Like, was this kind of just your excuse to get to see Nick Cage?
That is actually exactly what it is.
I mean, I remember saying to Tom, like, this will be, I'll consider this a win if we like get to basically go have lunch with Nick Cage, and it could fall apart after that. But if we got there, that would have been a big enough of a win.
That's a baseline. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you've made one of the best movies of the year with him. No big deal. Were you ever nervous? Because this movie does it creates a fictional Nick Cage character, but it also kind of embraces some real tropes of Hollywood and things that have happened to him in his life. And it makes it kind of silly at times. Were you ever kind of like nervous to be like, Nick, so here's this thing we're doing and you're going to be looking pretty silly in it, and think he might like take offense to something?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when we were giving him the script for the first time, we were thinking the first act of our film is really Nick at his lowest point. And we were like, is he going to read the first 10 pages of this and throw it across the room and be like, there's no way I'm doing this? And we thought if he could just get to the end of the film where he's the hero, we're like, then we got a shot at this thing. But yeah, we were always nervous about it.
Yeah. I mean, especially like how much of a narcissist could we write him, because and you want that for the character arc, right? Like you want him to go from narcissist to selfless family man, but we also knew it had to feel real and he had to go along with the ride.
Yeah, it was awesome. Well, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations on a fantastic film. I can't wait to go see it again as soon as it hits theaters.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you.